Today I'm going over all the best gear sets for Vulcan so that you can be dripped out and ready to pump on every character just like you pumped me in the comments on the last video. So thank you ZERKERGANG for all the love. You guys are all absolute legends, and this video is just going to be about what most people run on KR, just to help people out that don't have the direction, or if they don't care to go look it up themselves, or have alts that they don't want to research. Whatever it may be, if you do find something better, let me know and I'll pin it in the comments. That way we can all stay strong together and help everybody out. Everything else you need for Vulcan will be linked in the description, including individual links to like a specific character, whatever you might like, and they'll also be timestamped. And while you're down there, I'd appreciate the sub. And just remember, my name is Claysthetics, and we're running right into it. And don't forget to like the video. It's the only way YouTube knows I exist. And lighting this off, I want to start with generally the best setup you can look for every class and will be a good baseline for every character, because when we look at the vault and set bonus, most of them are all really good, so it can be kind of intimidating, and that's why I looked what's best up for every spec. And we will be using a guide key from Saintone, who will also be linked in the description, who had the sets translated on this text guide so that we don't have to read Google Translate. Stay blessed, King. But from what it looks like, we're getting the homogenized system for Vulcan like we got for Argos. Argos used to have pieces, Vulcan has pieces. I don't know. It kind of reads like that. I guess we'll see tomorrow what we get. But if we do get that system, when you hit 1445, just ignore any weird builds and go right for your Bis Relic set. I'll be showing you what most people run, and then you can just try other stuff off of that after you have your initial Bis pieces. But if you are in the 14-15 bracket, you're going to want to run 2-piece Argos and a 4-piece Demon Beast. In my opinion, it's going to be better for most classes, and I haven't really found a good reason to run Covetous, but if somebody can drop some knowledge on me for like a niche build or class, I'll definitely update it in like the pinned comment, but it is mandatory that you start swapping at 1445 because that's where the actual gear starts getting exponentially stronger, and all the sets are absolutely cracked and make or break some of the characters after all these balance updates, which we will be getting. So you'll be rocking a 2 or 4 piece of your relic set because that will always be stronger than running any kind of Argos set. So there will be lots of combinations on average, but you would want to rock 2 pieces of Argos of whatever you currently use, plus 2 sets of Vulcan gear, or a 2-piece Argos and a 4-piece Vulcan, or a 4-piece Vulcan and a 2-piece Vulcan. Like I said, the relic gear is better. So your general rule of thumb is just 2 or 4-piece of whatever your Biz Relic set is, and then you can try your own thing out down the line to whatever gets the most out of your character. And we're going to start off with Warriors, and of course, Warriors, we got to start with Berserker, because the ZERKERGANG's got the Zerker brain. Hands down, Mayhem is going to be on the Nightmare set. It's just one of the most mana-intensive specs in the entire game. There really isn't any contesting that. And as you can see, the loadout's pretty much exactly the same. You just look, mana consumption, OP, GG, run Nightmare. Not really a big deal. We're definitely not going to be able to run the 4-piece Nightmare set, so you're probably going to pair like a 2-piece Nightmare, 2-piece Earth Entropy, and do whatever else you want, right? But really, that's what you can look for. You're going to be wanting to craft the entire Nightmare set the first chance that you get. Now we're going over everybody's favorite Brazil's secret, or Berserker's technique. And a lot of my Brazilian and Portuguese viewers told me I looked like Alan Zoka, a Brazilian streamer. Told me I was the Canadian doppelganger version of this, and it's kind of scary. So I'm not going to look at that anymore, because doppelgangers don't exist, but the resemblance is uncanny. And the reason the sets are all over the place for this one is this spec just got buffed. Sets are all over the place. People don't know what to do. But as the boys have been theory crafting in Discord, we understand very simply that you play Brazil's secret for the highest risk and the highest reward. So you have to go with the death/earth entropy set, simply because it gives you that back attack damage, and all of the Berserker skills have back attack. This is very simply the best Berserker's technique, like set flat out. There really isn't anything to say about that. But again, as the shepherd, the king, whatever, you guys keep calling me everything, and I appreciate it because it inflates my ego. But for Berserker's technique, I'm going to be rocking 2-piece Nightmare, 2-piece Yearning, and 2-piece Earth Entropy, if that's what we're getting. And if it's not, then I'm just flat out going to rock Earth Entropy across the board. That seems to be the way to go. Now for Destroyer, which I have also be called the king of, and this is like one of my oldest guides that I've ever made, like probably the first guide. I mained this character for years and years and years. Right up until recently, I got like my account re-verified, and I'm not getting it back. So that's how it goes. Anyways, death/earth entropy across the board. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. There really isn't anything to say about that. It is pretty mana intensive, so you can grab like a Nightmare set in there too. Hammer of Rage also like the better of the 2 specs, but I did see something very interesting about gravity training that one guy was running, and it was The domination guy shot up. Yeah, this guy was doing some crazy stuff. If you're gonna play a niche spec, you might as well play like the most niche build. He's got Awakening, and what domination does is it like gives you your ultimate less cooldown, and it gives your normal skills more damage when it's on cooldown, and gives you a buff. Pretty cool idea because you're just kind of using all your normal skills most of the time, anyways, going crazy, and you're using the Z gauge, which I don't think is very good on a lot of the bosses, but it does give you super armor the entire time you're in it, so it can be used to gimmick a lot of mechanics. So gravity training, not the worst. And it's definitely for some people. So if you're doing that, you're probably going to want to rock the same two pieces as the other build, and then obviously just straight 6 domination if you get the opportunity. Now we're going over Warlord, 6 death / Earth Entropy. Seems to be pretty consistent across the board for like every single Lone Knight spec. And then you can start popping in like a 2 Nightmare, 2 Betrayal type deal. That might be the move or the play. So just take a peek at that. Again, I'll link all these, so don't worry about it. And now we're going to go over Battle Stance, which I think is Combat Readiness. I think that's what it is. Let me look. Pretty much just all Nightmare for Battle Stance. So just W key the 6-piece Nightmare for that. And then you can split yourself pretty evenly among the other things while you wait for your Nightmare set. Not really a big deal. See how it's like pretty easy to just like randomly choose your sets. You just go look at what everybody's using, and then you just like split up. Okay, this guy has this 2-2-2. Boom, you're done. Or you just take the 2 best sets, put them in your thing, and you're good. And you can just pick a random third one or whatever and just try different ones out until Vicus comes out. So now we're going to take a look at Holy Knight, and I don't even think I want to go over the DPS version of this, but we'll take a look at Aura of Blessing. Pretty much just run your Longing set, which is like the Yearning set here, which is just going to give you more spec back or more specialty like meter back or whatever. That way you can do your buffs better. And then, well, you could rock like a Nightmare set as your off spec set. Like, you know what I mean? Like you have like 2 Yearning, 2 Nightmare, and I guess you could do 2 death like at some stage, but pretty much the play. You're going to be looking for your Yearning set. And then I guess because I said I'd go over all of them, we'll just like quickly rock a Judgment 3 guy really quick. We'll do that. We'll do this guy. Yeah, I mean, if you want to do Judgment, I guess you're just rocking big dammies anyways. So, just do your best, have some fun. Now we're going to go over Soul Master really quick, which is just Machinist here. It's just I guess that's how it feels to play a Soul Master, honestly. So we're going to go over Energy Overflow first. 6 domination across the board, some hallucinations. So you can do like a Dom hallucination set. Probably the play for like a 2-2, or just W key straight 6 domination if you have the opportunity. And now we're going over Robust Spirit. The 6 hallucination seems to be across the board, like just what they take. So 6 hallucination, W key that. You can split hallucination and death. Death is our entropy again. Don't forget that. Now we're going over Esoteric Battlemaster. Pretty much, little splitty boys. So it's either domination or hallucinations from what it seems like. If somebody could let me know what would actually be best for Battlemaster, I don't play this class at all, so I don't know. But it kind of looks like it's pretty evenly split across the board between just like whatever they want, really. So again, no Vicus, rock your 2-2-2 of whatever you see here. Now we're getting into First Intention War Dancer, which seems to be pretty split across the board here between like 6 domination, like random 2 pieces and stuff. So this is perfect for our NA release. To be rocking something like 4 Dom, 2 Nightmare, 2 Annihilation, 4 Dom, you know what I mean? So I guess you could W key to 6 domination if you wanted to. It doesn't seem to be a bad thing to do, but it already has the split set up for you. We're going to take a look at Striker. Ooh, 1 blow kill and mischief. All right, we got something special. Death pretty much across the board here. I wouldn't go with Betrayal. I would 100% go death here. You do tons of back attack damage. Again, it's another back attack class. Just go with death. That's Earth Entropy again. No, really, even a point in talking about that. And 1 blow kill is obviously death blow. So now we're gonna go over their SO build. That's probably the same as the other one. Yeah, it's just death because they probably play both specs, but it gives you a little better of an idea of a split, so you could rock some death and some hallucination, get everything going in there. Hallucination might actually be pretty good for this, but I just love the death set across the board. If you're back attacking and like your whole kit is back attack, then like you might as well just go huge in the back attack section. Now for Infighter, we're going to go for Trauma Chess, which is Taijutsu, and it's just death across the board. 1 Betrayal, so I guess that could be your offset. This is crazy. It's actually just hard death. Can we get an idea for a second? Salvation, 4 Salvation, 2 death. Man, yeah, just hardened to death and a little bit of hallucination, maybe some salvation in there. That way you can just get that couple of different sets going. But obviously, you know what to do for taijutsu. So now we're going to just rock over to our shock training, and it's all death again. So both specs for Infighter just play hard death across the board. You can start getting some betrayal, some hallucination mixed in there. So I guess that's what you would go for your off pieces. Now we're going over Lancemaster, Glaivier, whatever anybody wants to call it at this point. Zenith is just Climax / Pinnacle, Nightmare across the board. That's a heavy mana spec. You could split death. I would definitely split death. There's a lot of good back attack skills in here, actually, especially in your blue form, which is what we're going to go over next. So I would definitely split between death and nightmare. Now, just to look at blue, nightmare betrayal. I would not go nightmare. I would go 100% death if you're going to be blue Glaivier. Always, you're always going to be back attacking. It's bread and butter. It carries the entire build with death. You 100% need death as a back attack Glaivier. I made the Glaivier guide. Absolutely cracked, by the way, so go check that out. Don't even worry about that. But death is the move, 100%. And then you can split between like betrayal, whatever else. Like, just do your thing. It's another niche build. Requires you to back attack the entire time that you're playing it. So don't even think about it. Let's take a look at Gunslinger. Hunting time. I mean, you guys who play the spec know time to hunt with level 1 Peacemaker. Peacemaker hunting time. Oh, this one's going to be a little scuffed. Okay, so we'll just ignore this guy. It's level 3 in both. What a gamer. Nightmare, Domination, Salvation. Oh my god, it is all over the place. If you are a gunslinger, hit me with some knowledge. Not really too sure about this one, but it'd be pretty easy just to pick 2 of everything listed on this page. It just seems to be that Domination has more of a showing than anything else on this page. So I'd probably go Domination. I guess it's just hard to choose. This Chad right here with 2 level 3 class engravings is 2 Betrayal, 2 or 4 Betrayal, 2 Nightmare. So I guess just do whatever you want as Gunslinger. That'll be fun. What about any only Peacemakers? Nightmare for Peacemaker. Okay, but that's crazy. This guys, this is all over the place. This is just free city. ATK. I think he's like the pretty top tier gunslinger. He's probably the main person to ask about gunslinger anything, honestly. So I would just go to him for this one. This one just confuses me. I don't even want to meme Devilhunter anymore, man. Just go death. Just be happy that you're a Devilhunter. You're just a worse version of gunslinger. That's okay. You do whatever you gotta do to get by, right? We look at handgunner. Hallucination, nightmare, salvation. Lots of hallucination. So I would personally rock hallucination. I usually just go with the majority because like if everybody's jumping off the bridge, I probably should too. So that's probably the move. Why not? Sheeple attitude. But no, honestly, a lot of these guys have practiced and been playing forever. They're not going to like int their characters that are worth thousands of dollars and have just played tons of time on. So salvation, betrayal, couple in there. So you know what to mix and match. Obviously, you get some salvation, betrayal mixed and match in there with your hallucination set. But go for your hallucination set first. We're gonna rock blaster and reinforced bombardment. Okay. Oh, we got double dippies. Okay, so we don't even have to look. Salvation, hallucination. Okay, so it's pretty much salvation or hallucination. If you have to mix and match, just grab both. Not a big deal. But it looks like salvation seems to be the play, and everybody's rocking double class engraving, so not even a point in looking. It looks like if your firepower enhancement, you're either nightmare or your betrayal, but if you're playing optimally from what it looks like, you're probably just hallucination or salvation. You can just pick either one, and that's pretty much across the board the most consistent. Now we're going to go for Scouter. I know Scouter's not out, but what if one day comes out and you're trying to prog through Vault and you don't know what gear to craft, right? Because in the future, this is relevant anyways, because you need these relic sets, and it pretty much looks like hallucinations is the move, and you can off-piece some Dom or Betrayal. So for Scout, Argentine Skill, I think this is the pet build. Domination, Salvation, Split. So again, you can split yours in between there or just pick one or the other set. That seems to be fine. The Legacy of Evolution. Again, you can just click on any of these guys, right? This is just Google Translate, nothing crazy. And you can figure out what the actual engraving is if I'm just saying it wrong or it's just Google translated incorrectly. Not really a big deal. I don't really know anything about Scout, so not really a thing for me. Lots of hallucinations across the board for this Legacy of Evolution thing. And I guess I'll just open it up so you guys can see the engraving. Just hyper sync mode. Oh, this is like Iron. I think this is the Iron Man build. Yeah, why would you play anything else but Iron Man build? Let's be honest. So, yeah, I think the other build's a pet build, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know too much about it. I don't want to go crazy talking about it. I'm booming on this one. Hallucination, W key. Best set? Yep. Easy enough. Betrayal? Maybe a little salvation as your off spec. Looks like salvation. Hallucination. That seems to be the split. Hawkeye. Oh boy. Man. This is another class I just don't want to meme anymore. It's just sad. Looks like we're running double dippies, so we don't really have to think about too much on this one. And Nightmare, Hallucination, Salvation. Okay, so looks like Nightmare's the most consistent. I would rock a Nightmare set. I think Nightmare's cracked. I hate running out of mana, honestly. So that's why I like Nightmare. I just think it's fun to use. So if you're in mana intense class, Nightmare's pretty much a go-to no matter what. Little Hallucination, Salvation off specking. So there really isn't too much going on there. So you can just rock 2/2/2 like Nightmare, Salvation, Hallucination. Be all set up and ready to rock. Death Attack. There is an individual Nightmare, Nightmare, and Betrayal. And Nightmare. Okay, so Nightmare for Death Attack. And again, probably the same split. You could play both specs. Hawkeye. Good luck, boys. Now for Bardner, desperately needed Salvation, Longing, Yearning set, whatever, for the specialty gauge increase. Just flat out cracked, best across the board. Really no contest on that. And you could just kind of pick anything else you want. Maybe the Ether thing. I don't know if you need to split sets. Pretty much anything works as long as you have your Yearning set as your main focus. Now look at DPS Bardo. Fascination, which I'm pretty sure is the Charming Instinct or whatever, where I think it's DPS Bard, right? So you're just going for this like damage decreases by up to 80% when striking. Well, yeah. So DPS Bardo, I guess just kind of do like this. Like, I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't play Desperate Salvation. So I mean, like, I guess like, again, niche builds, you know what I mean? Play Fascination Bardo. Have fun. Summoner. Hallucination. All right, Summoner's not going to be in the game for a very long time. So we'll just say six hallucination. By the time Vicus is in the game, I'm sure Summoner will be too. Now Sorceress, Ignition, Reflux, Split. We'll start with Ignition. Looks like it's Nightmare across the board. Little Domination slipping in there, a little Betrayal slipping in there, but pretty much Nightmare across the board. If you want a more in-depth Sorc thing, probably just go talk to Saintone. He's probably going to give you a way better answer than I ever could about a class that I don't enjoy playing. So again, Nightmare, Hallucination for Reflux. Yeah, I guess mana intensive, right? Tons of mana. Nightmare rocks it. Good cooldown reduction on that too. So that works. Arcanna, another character that they teased. So we'll probably see Arcanna after Destroyer. Hopefully. I like Arcanna too. Arcanna's really fun. Nightmare again. Emperor's Grace, Emperor's Edict. So we'll just go with this. Betrayal for Decree. And then for Grace, Nightmare. Pretty easy for Arcanna, nothing too crazy there. So now let's get into our Assassins, and we're going to go with Demonic. Demonic, Salvation, Hallucination, Nightmare. I've seen a lot of mixed things for Demonic, right? And we'll start with Demonic Impulse, obviously. Hallucination, Salvation, Split. Pretty consistent across the board. But I would probably stick to Salvation and Hallucination. Pretty much no reason not to do that. We'll talk about the other spec, but if you play Perfect Suppression, I don't know what to say. Why would you play demon character if you don't want to be a demon? I get it. Niche builds, whatever, right? And I guess some going in and out of form isn't for everybody. Looks like Nightmare across the board. A couple of deathy boys in there, so you can split that, no problem. Perfect Suppression. It is fun, no cap. Like I was memeing. It is actually kind of a fun build. I just enjoyed popping in and out of demon form just to push that like blood bomb skill. That's the only thing I want to do when I'm in demon form. Don't care about anything else. Let's go for Reaper. This is another class that's just not in the game for, I don't know. This is probably the last class that we get, honestly. This is like, I don't even know why we got Destroyer. It's like one of the least played classes in the entire game. Like, here's Destroyer. Everybody's hyped about it. People are going to play it, but it's too slow. Reaper, like, tons of people are like, I love Reaper. It's like, all right. So we got Death, Betrayal. Looks like just Death. Again, this character is going to be out by the time we have Vicus, so Death is perfect. And then I don't even know what these engravings do. But again, just Death across the board. Feels bad for Reaper mains. Shout out to those guys. They're probably just sad boys. Blade. Deathblade mains. You know, honestly, I want to skip you. I really do. I really do. But I'll just scroll. You can craft your death set, get some hallucination going in there. You'll be a happy boy. And then you'll switch over to residual anyways. Both specs are fine. You didn't get nerfed that bad. Stop crying about it. Guy who asked for peons on the forums. Oh my god, bro. That was one of the most cringe things I've ever seen. My specs nerfed? Refund me. Honestly, peons shouldn't be in the game anyways. That should have been a different thread. That should have been like, yo, peons are predatory and not fun for the game. Take them out. They're not good. Take them out of NA. Nobody needs them. Nobody wants them. Don't make it about like I got nerfed. No, take the predatory monetization out. Don't just make it about you. Anyways, death again for residual energy, or remaining energy, whatever you want to call it. Both specs are good. Don't be sad that you got a little nerfy boy. Mayhem got it too. We're in the same boat. It's not a big deal. You know, everybody's got to get taken off the top of the mountain eventually. And the reality is you're probably still going to be mostly 3/4, if not still almost at the top. You just got, you know, caught jumping. Anyways, death, not an issue. Seems to be it for almost all the characters. Oh, and Painter. I didn't know they had their own thing. Painter, I don't even know if we're ever going to get Painter. This one's a year off. Yearning for Painter. There you go. That's it. And I guess if you're a DPS, then you can go Nightmare and Domination. Painter looks cool. I saw the class trailer for it. I saw all the paint explosions and stuff. It actually looked kind of fun. So maybe play it when it comes out. I just don't usually play support characters, but I probably should try playing support. I don't like Bard. Paladin's okay. Maybe I'll play Paladin instead. I like Paladin a lot. I like the big, beefy man shoulders. That's where it's at. That's basically it. We got all the classes done. The website I used is going to be linked in the description. All the people I looked over, whatever individuals, I'll link one of every class and I'll timestamp everything. That way you guys can be like, okay, this is my character. This is whatever you need. And that way you can stay ahead of the curve, just like the patrons are keeping me ahead of the curve. Thank you guys so much for keeping this train running, man. It means the world to me. It's hype. Every time I look at that, I love you guys. Thank you for everything that you do for me, and I'll keep doing my best for you. And I promise you can look forward to the most hype Destroyer video you've ever seen in your entire life coming out tomorrow on Thursday. Flat out the only Lost Ark video you're probably ever going to remember when the game is long gone. It will stick with you. It will shatter your mind, brain, explosion. You're not even going to know what's happening. Even I didn't know what was happening. So enjoy.